Okay, so we're adding. Sorry, I didn't connect up there. So this is going to be the start of the video. Me connecting to the screen for the students that are quietly awaiting. All we're adding is an up-down shift, which is real easy. You just create like a new x-axis as a dotted line. So the hardest one, I guess we'll go through it. It's kind of a pain, is like this one. So I'm going to go right to it and maybe start with this and then maybe count this as complete notes. Plus, we're, in honors. I think we hopefully get the idea from yesterday. This is just a minor stretch in your brain. But really, what a big pain is that's such a small downshift. So what that means, we do have. I can actually make this work out a little better. We do have an amplitude of, what is the amplitude? 2 or -2? 3, 2, 1, go. It's 2. Don't get tricked on that. So the amplitude is 2. And then the period is, we can put that work right in here. Let's get that all taken care of. It's 2 pi over 1/8, which is, anyone? 16 pi. That's going to be easy to break down. You don't have any fractions when you take half, half, half. Domain's always going to be all real numbers. Let's wait on the range after we do this. So what I was blabbering about is I'm going to go by ones this way. So -1, -2, 1, 2, because a half, I'm going to go half down, which means I have a new x-axis I want to think about. That's where the quote zeros will be. Or I did use the word midline. That's where the midline is. Then we got to think about our new high and our new low. Where if everything goes down a half, what's my new high? The answer is not 2. What is it? What's the new high? No one said anything. 3, 2, 1, go. Okay, what's 2 minus a half? 1.5. Nobody's saying a word. All right. If I usually had a low of -2, what would be my new low? Let's do better on this one. 3, 2, 1, go. -2.5. So we just kind of mark that when we mark our major points here. And I think I've covered everything I need to cover. So we're going to be at 1.5 as a new high. And this is what I mean. I can handle this. I'm just a little bit off the, bless you. Okay, a new low of -2.5 so that we can mark this. Okay, so now here's how I do this. I have a cosine, but it's upside down. So here, remember I said this? I was going to pick on students in class with a calculator. All right. I won't do that, but 0, comma, what's the answer? Is it 1.5, -1/2, or -2.5? Am I at the high, mid, or low? 3, 2, 1, go. Low, because it's the cosine kid, which is supposed to look like this. Hiya! All right, but it's flipped upside down, so now it's the low that I start with. Oh, sorry, I didn't do this. 1, 2, 3, 4. That's 16 pi. What's half of 16 pi? Come on. What's half of 8 pi? Come on. What's the third one? Come on. So easy when it's not fractions. And I'm not going to do the other side. Cut, paste, do the same thing. We don't have the time for this. What's 4 pi, comma? High, middle, or low? 3, 2, 1, go. Middle. What's 8 pi, comma? High, middle, low? High. What's 12 pi, comma? Middle. What's 16 pi, comma? Low. Okay, that's all easy questions. And then you get this sketch. Easiest thing in the world. It really is. Remember about the red pen of justice. Yoink. Do not go. Oh, that's kind of illegal. I'd get a little, see that right there? Oh, you better watch it. All right. I'll get my red pen if you're below that value. All right. This is easy. So this first one, I go real fast. Sine function. So what you're filling in is this. Well, we just did up down shifts. So I think we're adding this plus or minus d components. I'll put it as a lowercase this time. But you know what? You know what? In this first example, they don't say anything about an up down shift. So I got no d. All right. Oh, come on. And it doesn't say anything about upside down. So the amplitude is 2. Sine. And then this is the only thing I felt I had to have a video for. How do I get that b value when the period is 4 pi? And it's super simple. You find period by 2 pi over b, right? And then I'm going to reference the Get Tricky With It video. when they had cosine on the bottom and then equals a number, and then it went da 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 da, and you just switch those, right? Or a cosine ended up on the bottom. Da 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 da. You could switch these, and that means B equals 2 pi over P. That's how you find B. Switch them. So what's B? It's 2 pi over whatever they express as the period, 4 pi, which is what number? 1/2. And then look at that. If I put 2 pi over a half, I get 4 pi. It's so simple. All right. Then I just get worried about these because it's just a little bit of different thinking, what you have to do. And plus, you just learned graphing yesterday. If you're in honors, you pick up things quick. It's refreshing. All right. What do I see right here? And the answer I'm looking for is that sine or cosine. Who is that? Who's two bowls? All right. Now you're going to learn about shifting right and left probably tomorrow. There's actually an infinite amount of equations that would match this graph. But right now, you want to get what does it start and end at in a cycle, and that is a sine. And now we are filling in this. And yet again, do I have an up-down shift? Do I have an up-down shift? No, because it goes 2 to -2, so we don't have a D again. All right, so really, this is the same question as we had above. What is the amplitude? What is the amplitude? 3, 2, 1, go. 2. Is this positive or negative? It's negative because this is upside down. All right, and then what's the period? Say that number. So what's B? What's B? Pi over what? 2. And I told you about this yesterday. This happens, or let's reverse it. This happens because this might be an object oscillating in some sort of fashion, like a spring going up and down, like compared to the midline, its distance above and below over time. 1 second, 2 seconds, 3 seconds, 4 seconds. A lot of times in real world questions, the trig has those numbers without pi on the x-axis because it represents a real world scenario. Just want you to know that about your future, and your future looks bright. What's this? What would you describe that as? And what kind of cosine? Upside down. So it's y equals negative upside down. 5/2 is the amplitude. No up-down shift. And then 2 pi over 2 is how you find B. 2 pi over whatever you identify the period as. This ain't no thing. Anyone? Bless you again. You better get that checked. All right. Okay, and then here we go. So what did we go down? How far? And then the video will be over. How far did we go down? Down 1. So we already have y equals, and then we have a -1 at the end. That's it. That's all we're learning today. And then I'll leave you be. And then what kind of graph do you have? What kind of graph is it? And yet again, we're obsessed with what kind of sign? Negative. What's A? How far do I go up and how far do I go down from the midline? 1/2. So it's -1/2 sine. And then, oh boy, here we go. 2 pi over. Are you doing okay over there? We need a nurse in here shortly. All right. B equals 2 pi over. What? Can you just go put that phone down? You don't need your phone because you're coughing. Right. All right, here we go. And then what's this answer? What's 2 pi over 4 pi over 3? Like there is a class in here. Teaching in America. 3. Thanks, Doa. Doa, he made the movie. I thought you were going.